Hello and welcome back to the letter, which I may or may not vaguely remember what it was we're doing. From what I remember, Isabel... Oh, I know, Isabel was at... What's his face? I've not actually played this game in a while. He's with Zachary. So yeah, I think that's what was happening, because everyone's panicking of where she went. So, true to his words, he calls back only a few minutes after the last one he has ended.
She's with Zach.
There we go.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. She could have at least sent a message last night.
What are you, her mother?
It's one thing to hear that from Isabel, but from Ashton?
I don't want to hear anything like that from you.
I'm serious. You've got to stop treating her like she's one of your students, Becca. You don't have to keep tabs on her every time. Last I checked, she's only 3 years younger than the two of us. That's almost a decade gap from those kids you're teaching, you know.
Says the person who keeps calling her Scaredy Cat.
That's...
What, does that sound different?
That's not related. At all.
Sure, Ashton, sure.
Anyway, I'll go check how she's doing. Don't stress yourself out. You go ahead to work.
Wait, you? Don't you have a precinct to be at? Whatever happened to not treating her like one of my students? Because if anyone's going to ask me, I think you're doing the same thing.
Zach said it's an emergency. Something happened last night.
Emergency?
He didn't put it in those exact same words, but it sounded like it.
Oh, that's right, because Zach called Ashton.
Ash? What really happened? Is Isabella fine?
It depends if you care much about her.
She's alright. She's safe. Zach let her stay the night after she... Look, okay. Z-Man wasn't clear about it, but let me handle this.
Okay.
I'll check on her. I'll bring her home.
Sounds like a lie if I've ever heard one. The sort where he omits things so people won't fret. And I'm not sure whether I should be happy he cares that much to do that. There shouldn't be a need for this between us, is there? We grew up together, didn't we? He knows I'm capable of at least hearing out the truth without it gnawing at me for the rest of the day. He knows me better than that. I know him better than that. Frankly, there's plenty of other things to say about this. But despite... Hold on, let me just adjust the mic a little. Because I feel like it might be affecting lighting. Anyway, despite... Words. Give me a second. But, despite and after all the trouble he went through, with how things are moving at the moment, only one thought occurs to me. Oh, what's their relationship? That's the first thing I need to ask. Why did it go down? I don't... Oh yeah, it was down automatically, if I remember correctly. Because something happened with Isabel that made me do that. Let's hope for sorry for the trouble. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. So I recognize his concern for what it is. It's not new for him to go out of his way for us, and to be honest, this is what I love about him. As much as I would have loved to take this off his hands, it'd only be selfish of me to insist, considering he knows of my other commitments. To do so feels like I'll be trampling on that kindness he seldom offers to anyone.
Sorry for putting you up to this.
Don't mention it. You've got other things you need to worry about. Take care of those first. This is a small thing.
Oh, I just realized the photos in the back. I just realized, with the amount of time we've been in here, I've just noticed the people here. Just noticed them.
I still owe you one.
Oh, I can name a few things you can do about that.
Oh, can you, Ashton?
You know,
Can
there's this ice cream shop that opened near the movie house. I could use...
Okay, let's stop right there. That's enough.
They have a good relationship going on.
On second thought, maybe I'll just think about it some other time.
Harsh.
We both laugh, the sound lighter and more comfortable. Like the old days, when a wayward 26-year-old is at the bottom of the list we need to worry about. This is how we find a common ground. We may not agree on a lot of things, we may see things the way the others does, but the give and take is something we've learned to get used to over the years. Whenever it's like this, confidence in him is the least I can offer as thanks.
Really? Thanks for this, Ash.
I'll let you know what happened afterwards, I promise. I'll call you later. You have a good day. Bye.
I admit, the way he puts it isn't comforting enough. He can't be blunt like that. So many unknown variables, so many words left unsaid. I wish he'd simply lay them out all in the open, because like this, I'm more inclined to think there is an exaggeration on the other's part. If it's from Zachary Ashton, I don't know. In the end, all I could do is wait, go about my day and hope for the best. Before leaving, I spared Isabel's room one last glance, disturbingly quiet now without her in it. I'll get answers from her later. For now, my concerns are best left here. Like all my sciences are plugged right now. And as I usually say, just bear with me. The rest of the day slips away in a blur. Despite my best efforts in keeping this morning's events from surfacing in my mind, it stinks. In a way, everything today simply feels like a reminder. Every conversation, regardless of how casual, every topic, no matter how mundane it seems. I blame the news entirely for this. Recent happenings brought quite a few interesting stories to everyone's attention. Most superstitions talk of death. And when locals talk about death here, anyone can sure as hell count on someone bringing up that mansion Isabel sold not a few weeks ago. Even my own students won't stop yapping about it. I think it's even worse than when it was put back up in the market. Now there are more stories. This is the world reminding me of what matters or simply because the atmosphere around this time of the year calls for it. I'd rather take that latter. At least then I can be sure people will forget about it in a favor or another set of holidays after. Nevertheless, this may be a painful thing to admit, but listening to them is a pleasant distraction while waiting for Ashton's call. That's weird, but okay. Hope you didn't forget. So, the school day is about to end soon.
No, that's got nothing with what I heard.
What the hell? That's a weird student voice, but okay. You always hear stuff. I'm not sure if half of them is even real.
Oh, really? Rowan knows about it. He used to be in the same class with them.
It's hard to imagine. For some reason, what's visualizing in my head is like some creepy old man in a shop selling, I don't know, antiques. That's the voice that sounds fitting for this. For this male student that's talking, it's weird.
I can hear you from back here, you know.
Rowan? Wait a second, was Rowan that older brother? If I remember correctly.
Whatever, Rowan. Anyway, the story goes like this. There were 3 of them. They entered the mansion on a dare, and they were all never seen again.
Oh, is it the 3 that had the camera by chance? That Mary Ann saw through the camera?
No one knows what happened to them. Up to this day. Scary shit, man.
Cock and bull story. Calling it now.
No, you don't get it. Why don't you ask Miss Gales then? Better yet, why don't you go inside the place? I'm betting my allowance you can't do it.
Their talk immediately halts when I look up, all of a sudden pretending to be engrossed in their current activity. Still, a word to put a stopper to this nonsense is needed. Creativity. Creativity and imagination fostered by these stories is one thing, but reckless ideas should be corrected before anything potentially tragic comes from
Back
it.
to your worksheets, everyone. And I don't want to hear any talk of dares or going inside that mansion. It's private property now. You'd all better stay away from it before...
Okay. Okay, for a second I thought the music stopped. I was like, fuck, it's the ghost! At the noise, the whole lot of them go silent. You can almost hear a pin drop. The look on their faces would have made for a funny picture, but that's irrelevant at the moment, is it? Is it really? If there's a student loitering around, someone's going to be in trouble.
I'll be back. If you're done, you can leave your worksheets on my desk. Keep the noise to a minimum while I'm gone, okay?
I can sense their eyes on me as I walk out the door. A muted kind of anticipation. A bit unnerving, but far more agreeable than the fleeing of being watched... words. I know English. It's great. But it's far from agreeable than the feeling of being watched I've been enduring these past few days. There we go. It's the ghost. Class is still in session for most of the rooms. In a few hours, once the final bell rings, however, the place will once again be filled with busy chatter and footfalls, an everyday cycle in itself. But for the moment, I let the silence guide me. My ears focusing on whatever sounds there are, or there will be, searching for that distinct clanging of metal. A good minute passes, and for a portion of it, only my steps echoes through the halls. And another. I'm at a turn around when... sound of it halts my footsteps. It's a little muffled and infrequent, but grows louder after each interval. With the hallway devoid of people, if I don't put a stop to it soon, I'll start to disturb the other classes still going on. The fuck? Looking for it doesn't take long. All I do is follow the rack in. Shortly, I'm standing in front of a nondescript row of unoccupied lockers. Motherfucker, it's a ghost. The ghost is gonna be in the locker, or at least the head. And from inside them, sitting in the middle, comes the noise, annoyingly disruptive, and now that I'm facing it, like someone's pounding on the metal door from the inside, hoping to get out. Leaning forward, I try to get a glimpse through the horizontal slates of whatever's causing it. But in this light, only darkness greets me and another round of clanging. Louder than previous one. More desperate. I've heard of stories before from other schools, from a few colleagues who had to deal with it once or twice. Although personally, I've never encountered one myself, and I can only thank heavens I haven't yet. Until now. But
If this is another kid, some other student stuffed in a locker.
I mean, these lockers look very goddamn small. They look like just small enough lockers to only fit books. With huff, I straighten up and study it briefly with a frown. Without delay, I reach for its handle and, at once, it stops. Immediately replaced by a muffled sound of mobile phone ringing. I give the door a few raps before taking my attention away. Second, another. When nothing or no one responds, I finally avert my eyes and pull out my mobile. How convenient. Okay. I thought the phone was going in the locker, not our phone. Ashton's voice greets me from the other end of the line. Oddly cheerful in light of this morning's matters. My dog's not helping. He's like making heavy breathing noise. It's creepy in this situation right now. Anyways. Or maybe because I'm expecting some grave or serious news from him. Instead, I get this.
Hey, Becca.
Well, you sound happy.
I do? My voice still sounds the same to me.
There are only two things I know of that could be the reason for that tone. Sweets, or he's got a good lead in his case. From the sound of it, I'm going to assume it's the former, since lately that's... Wait, what? I'm going to assume it's the former, since lately that case is all that's running inside his head. If there's ever a third one, I've never heard of it yet. It can only be one of the two.
Ignore that. How's Isabella?
Drove her home a few minutes ago. I think she's sleeping now.
Ooh, okay.
Sorry this took a while. Z-Man gave us the puppy eyes after we tried to leave. Had some food prepared for us, apparently. We didn't have the heart to say no.
I mean, Ashton sort of had the heart to say no.
That's all right. Is she okay now?
I'm not really sure. She didn't say anything to Zach, but she mentioned a plan to take a few days off from work. It was a passing comment before I left her, so I didn't get to ask.
Must be because of Rose's death.
Could be. It doesn't seem like it from Zach's story, though. He said she was shaking when she got there.
Shaking?
The word triggers a memory. From 3 days ago, on the way home from her little tree after she sold the mansion. I didn't think much of it at the time, but I won't lie, it scared me. Oh, she's thinking of what happened when she freaked out from the window. Shopping window. The terrified look on her face. How she sounded when she suddenly screamed.
Still there?
Yeah, I just remembered something. Sorry, don't mind me.
Look, if you can talk to her, get the story out of her. That would be great. She wouldn't talk to Zach or me even when I tried.
I mean, none of you assholes believed her. I'm just saying.
Maybe she'll speak up if it's you?
I'll give it a go, but I can't promise anything, okay? You know how stubborn she can get.
So can they be.
But thanks for letting me know about this. If you want, I can get you that ice cream thing you mentioned tonight. As thanks. Just as thanks for all the trouble I've caused today.
Believe me, I'd love to take you up on that offer, but I've got something on my schedule this evening. Maybe some other time? Thanks a lot, Becca.
There's a short pause before he cuts the call from his end. And once again, I'm alone with my thoughts. But rather than answers, all I get from it are questions. More of them. One on top of the other. As if the world isn't planning to give me a break anytime soon. Well, it's going to be a long October. But that's a problem. I'll tackle later. Right now, I've got students who need to be taught follies of eavesdropping. The slightly open door and their smothered laughter from inside is an indication.
All right, enough eavesdropping. All of you, back to your seats.
Is that your boyfriend, Miss Gales?
None of your business.
He totally is. A quick scuffle follows that comment. If there's a retort prepared at the tip of my tongue, I drop every pretense of letting it loose on them. There's no use arguing with teenagers sometimes. Boisterous as they all are. They're still my kids, though. Rough around the edges, maybe it's still my kids. Shaking my head, I head back to my class with a smile, but not before taking a glance at the locker again. It hasn't made a sound since.
Must be the wind.
I don't think that's wind. So, without another look, I leave it alone. Jesus Christ, why? All in all, the entire school day ends without a hitch. And our journal update. And that was on the 25th? Okay. I honestly don't remember when things occurred. Come morning, Zachary received a phone call from Ash. Looking for Isabel. Zachary informed him that she stayed over in... Oh, okay, so... Basically, these two occurred at the same time. And this was right before... Isabel and Zachary... Oh, Isabel saw Zachary taking unknown medicine. And I want to say that occurred sort of before... Oh, okay. Just trying to refresh my mind of what's happened so far throughout this game, because goddamn, this game's long. Longer than I thought it was gonna be. For a visual novel, too. All in all, the entire school day ends without a hitch. It could have gone better, mind you, but with the exams nearing, getting out of work before the sun has set looks as though it's a far-off dream for now. At least until they're over. Then we have the holidays to look forward to. There really are times when you simply take what you can get for the time being.
Nothing wrong with that.
All I'm hoping for is this will continue until the whole day ends. There's still that promise I made to Ashton, and frankly the idea alone doesn't sound good. If Isabel didn't talk to them, what makes them think she'll talk to me? It's not like there's a hierarchy, is there? Just because I can handle Isabel's childish tendency doesn't mean I can do it all the time.
Really, those two give me too much credit.
Nevertheless, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. If only because I'm also worried about her, and both Zachary and Ashton deem it important that somebody gets the story out of her. Here's hoping it's got nothing to do with that letter again. I understand it if she feels a bit stressed lately, but keeping that story going on for more than a week is... it's bound to get tiring at one point. Seriously, I merely don't want this to end in another argument. God willing, the cafe's special will help smooth things out. After all, it's always been food with her. Oh, I see. I see how this is gonna go. Or money. But mostly food. So she's inviting Rebecca for food, I guess? At this hour, the cafe is usually filled to the brim with people. That's the reason Isabel and I rarely ever go here during the evenings. It's simply too much of a hassle when we could prepare food ourselves in the comfort of our own homes. And there really isn't much reason to eat out lately. What with life going on a busy streak. No time for long lines, better spend that doing something productive, yes?
Lucky there isn't one tonight.
Only few people are idling around the counter. For them, in fact, a woman in her 60s and a teenager busy with his phone. Both are just waiting to be served their orders. What's happening? Oh. What are you doing? The other two, a posh-looking man and a child, which we've met with this character too, who I immediately recognize as Kaylee, appear to have not yet picked anything they want. For some reason, my stare lingers at the guy. Though dressed relatively well and looks harmless, I hadn't seen him around these parts before. Someone new in the neighborhood, perhaps? Even so, there's something familiar in him. It feels like I've seen him somewhere before. That also begs the question of why Kaylee is with him. Yeah, that's what I'd like to know. Of course, the girl is easily takes a liking to anyone who buys her sweets, so it's both a bit worrisome and unsurprising. The blonde bloke doesn't look particularly thrilled with the company, though. I turn my eyes away from them soon enough once the guy at the counter appears ready to take my order. That, and I'd also hate to be accused of oogling strangers.
2, evening special, takeout.
So that's because I believe we're going to play as Luke at some point. So that's going to be interesting to find out what those two have in common on why they're talking. He's already punching the order before I ever finish. Even finish. Blah, blah, blah. Saying my word out loud is really more for formality's sake and made out of habit. He has known Isabel and I long enough that if we ever drop by here, he already knows it's always because I'm buying dinner for the two of us. I really visit here alone if I can help it, but Isabel can sometimes be a bad influence. He gives me a small smile before leaving to prepare my order, while I fish for my wallet.
You little ankle biter. If I buy you the biggest parfait they have, will you please behave?
What the heck is going on?
I would just like 10 minutes of peace and quiet.
You said you'll get me some bread pudding this time.
This time?
Yeah, well, darling, they said they ran out of it. Just pick another one so we can be on our way.
That parfait doesn't look as cute as the one Mama bought me.
Mama?
Parfait is just ice cream, sweetheart. It'll melt no matter how dainty it appears. In the end, it'll all look like an ugly puddle. Now come on, just pick one. It could even be the most expensive one on that list. I don't give a shit.
I hope they aren't related in some way as family. I really hope not.
I don't care. What I would give for someone to buy you off my hands right now.
What? My whole attention instantly snaps back to them and their conversation. Jumping to conclusion isn't something I'm particularly fond of, especially when all I have are baseless assumptions, but you can't really trust a stranger these days. No one around the cafe seems to have noticed his words either. Very suspicious words. Still, I don't move. Yet. But my hand has already shifted from my wallet to the book I'm carrying. Oh. Oh. A hard-bound textbook looks harmless, but if a situation calls for it, it might be a good deadly weapon. Might. I haven't gotten a chance to try it anywhere so far. Today could be the day.
Promised.
Look, if you don't want a parfait, how about a Bonifay pie? I'm sure it'll taste just as good as any other bread pudding. I'll even buy you the entire tray. How does that sound?
That's not what you said before.
Well, sweetheart, adults change their minds sometimes.
You said if I come with you, you'll buy me a bread pudding, and I did, and now you won't keep your promise. I want to go home. I miss Mama.
No, darling, if I remember correctly, and I have a good memory, honey. What I said was, if you come quietly with me, I might buy you one. The quiet part didn't happen. Though now that I'm sober, I think this is a bad idea. I should just ship you someplace else for that peace and quiet.
Oh, what the hell is going on? Oh, that's it! No hesitation. In a few paces, he's within my reach, and without warning, I'm slamming the flat area of the book against his skull. Oh. There's a cry of pain followed by him instantly crouching down, hands nursing the sore spot. Almost comically, if this were a different situation, the safety of a Saint Gorte, I don't remember how it's pronounced. Gorete? I'm sorry. Student isn't at stake. I'll probably feel sorry for him. I mean, has anyone seen how thick this book
Get
is?
behind me, Kylie.
Miss Pink!
It's amusing how fast her expression changes from pouty one early to something that of utter delight upon seeing me. But that's no time for any pleasantries. Not even quick ones, because soon the man straightens and I'm readying my favorite newfound weapon for another hit. Except this time, he raises and before I can land another one, his hand shoots up to catch my wrists in a firm hold. Oh, Jesus Christ. The look on his face.
Hell, woman, what's your problem?
To say he's pissed would be a complete understatement. Had I been the weak-willed sort, I'd probably cower under his sharp gaze. But that simply isn't how I roll. If he thinks he could scare me and do as he pleases here, just because I'm a woman or whatever, his reasons may be he's got another thing coming for him. So instead I return to him the same intensity with the same venom.
What's my problem? You're the one who has a problem here. Rotten bowbags like you don't deserve the freedom to run this town. What are you doing to this girl?
And why is that any of your business, pray tell?
Oh, it's my business if I make it to be. Now, release me or I'll call the police.
You think that scares me, Daisy?
Where is this going?
I have a name, you sleazy douchebag.
Oh, I'm sure.
Sleazy douche. Great, I love how some characters give him nicknames. There's a grip on my hand only tightens when I attempt to shake it off. His tone may be dripping with anger and sarcasm, but the gleam in his eye says it all. He's getting a kick out of this. Riling people up, getting on their nerves, invading their personal space. He knows exactly what and which buttons to push. The nerve of this person. Nerve of this arsehole. If he thinks I'm going to give in to this goodling, please, he might as well just kiss his sorry behind. In fact, why not do the most sensible thing right now? Teach him a tough lesson. I mean... Wait, hold on. Let me look at the relationship just a second. For some reason, it's like almost half. Okay. I mean, with the way Luke is, I'm like... I kind of want to hit him. I kind of want to. In fact, why not do the most sensible thing right now? Teach him a tough lesson. I want to say shout for help, maybe? How long have I been going? Sure, I'll go. I don't know. I kinda wanna hit him. I know that's bad, but I'm like, I kinda wanna hit him with how he's acting. But we're also in a cafe, so the people around would probably help me if I shout for help instead. Let's shout for help.
Let me go, you uncouth lout!
He would have preferred to get hit?
Or else what?
I'll scream.
He laughs the derisive thing that he rankles on my temper more than it has any right to. It is as if he knows I can't do anything, or he's above any authority that exists in this city, confident he could get away with anything. The gall of this man. I'd like to punch him right now if I can. I should have punched him.
Nice try, lady. Why don't you drop the book first? You could kill people with that, you know.
Fat chance.
Oh no, that attitude won't do, Daisy. Here, let's try that again, like the proper adults we both are. Drop the bloody fucking book.
Why aren't you gonna scream? Please help me, scream.
Then what? If you're assuming I'm...
Then we'll have a nice conversation over a cuppa. Establish why you're
A
attacking
cuppa?
a poor, innocent stranger with a deadly weapon. And maybe even an apology or two for the offended party afterwards.
You know, I thought Luke was maybe a good guy to a certain extent. Never mind, Luke is a complete asshole.
I'm the offended party here, by the way. My brain hasn't returned to its rightful place yet, in case you're wondering.
Innocent! Don't play dumb! I heard what you were trying to do with that girl. Just because she isn't my student yet doesn't mean I don't have a role in protecting that child's innocence.
Protecting the what of who? Why would you... Oh no!
In the span of a second, the expression on his face changes faster than anyone is capable of. From pure confusion to sudden realization, before finally deciding on a face of utter mortification. He is quick to drop his hold on my hand afterward, like he's been holding a piping hot object and has just realized it's in his hand all along. He's far from a decent person, but he actually might make a good make good money doing comedy. What? The look on his face when he starts babbling his excuses is almost priceless.
No, this kid's... Alright, lady, look, it's all a misunderstanding.
Uh-huh. My tone can't go any flatter than the one I have now.
Right. Somebody help me!
He places the hand in my mouth before I spill the rest of it, and all at once I'm caught between trying to stop him from smothering me and keeping his dirty hands off me. But even as my nails dig deeper into his wrist, he doesn't appear to have any intention of letting me go. Being loud works, however. Soon the attention of practically every customer seated in the small establishment is on us. There we go. Thank you. I shoot each of them an imploring look, hoping one of them will have the sense to help. Sleaze, however, is fast enough to flash them all an embarrassed smile.
Haha! This lady's having such a bad day! Poor girl's just been through so much today! Nothing to see here. Go on with your dinner.
Bad day. Even if this were a friendly chat, I won't even touch you with a 10-foot pole. Much less share any problem with you. Blighter, you're my problem. I want to blurt it out, but with a hand covering my mouth and my lungs rapidly losing air. There we go. I bite down on his hand. Hard. It works.
Ow!
He yowls, jerks his hand away from my face. stepping back to put as much distance as he can between us while nursing his injured hand against his chest and muttering a string of very creative set of expletives. I'm great at English. Tears have formed at the corner of his eyes from the pain, and the small laughter almost leaves me. Almost. To be frank, he gives the impression of a kicked puppy with the glare he shoots me. A puppy and less inclined to feel sorry about.
You mad woman!
Yep. Also, I think I've recorded long enough at this point, so I might have to end it here. Or like, I will end it here. What am I talking about? So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video so far, go to the like button, probably. If you want to see more, maybe you know if I will have next, go to the subscribe button. Got anything to say, say it in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Comrades, I have no clue how this is going to end.